Alright, so the first item we have here on our list is the case, which is the Corsair Carbide Spec 01. It actually doesn't come with these red LEDs, and again, sorry for how the pictures are kind of small. I just downloaded them from the internet, and if I zoom in though, because they're such a small resolution, it has to lower the resolution to enhance the picture, so it's not as good resolution and quality, but that's what I'm going to have to do if you can get a bit of a close-up look, but it's going to be a fuzzy close-up look. It does have a side panel, which I like it. I like the side panel because you can see what's inside of the computer case. Here, and there's also two optical drives. There's two USB ports. Here, let's go to another picture over here. This one is also not as good quality, but you do have this one is, you can see the actual inside of the case. There's like drives for like all the PCI slots in the side. There's like a little place for the power supply, case fan, and I/O shield. And it doesn't come with these red LEDs. That is one of the installed. I think it actually might, but the case fans have red LEDs, and there's going to be two right there, and maybe one back there. I'm not sure, but then so those will have red LEDs. I'll also buy some LED strips and string them along the top, so it just kind of fills the entire inside with LEDs. We have two more pictures. There's one here, which is a view of it like on the inside. So that's like there's two case fan slots there, one on the back. On the top, there is also two. There's some slots for the drive bays. There's drive bay slots on top. There's two SSD slots, and there's the motherboard standoff. So there's one like right there, and that's basically, and the power supply goes right there as well. So final picture is it with the front off. So there's the vent. There is, basically, I'm not going to say anything because I've already named everything like once, if not even twice. So, yeah. So we're going to get on to the next picture here. Or, not picture, part. Alright, so the next part we have here is the motherboard, which the motherboard it's the MSI Z1708 M7 Gaming. There's also the M5 and the M9, which do look a little different, but the M7 is like basically in between, and it's still affordable. And one thing I like about this motherboard is a lot of motherboards don't have this little cover right here. This does not have to be in it, but if the cover is not there, the way the motherboard is facing, you'll be able to see all the ugly tops of these things. So I like this motherboard because it has this little cover that covers all these up, and the I/O shield, these just plug out, and they go in the back of the computer, and you can plug stuff into them. They just stick out of the back of the computer, and you can plug stuff in from there. So if you have this cover, it makes it so you just can't see the tops of them when the motherboard is in. And then we have our RAM slots, processor slot with the chipset, and our PCI slots. We have another picture right here, which again, I'm sorry that these are all fuzzy, but again, I did not make the pictures. I didn't take the pictures. And here we says MSI Z1708 Gaming M7 motherboard. So I'm not sure if we actually have another picture. Let me check for that real quick. Okay, so there is two more pictures. So there's this one, which is completely from the top, where here we can see this above it. There's a 24-pin connector. It's too small for me to identify any of the other parts, but as if I can identify all of those. No way I can memorize that. One more right here, which is another side view. This one has, I can tell it doesn't have, of course, it doesn't have any graphics cards in. It doesn't have anything else plugged in. We have RAM cards though, and I know the processor is not there because if the processor was, the top cover would have popped off and we would actually be able to see the processor. So it only has RAM cards in, but so here we're gonna go on to the next picture now. Alright, so this is the processor, which is the next part we're going to be looking at, and in the last one I noticed I said picture, so yeah. Probably could put like little correction text there. And so this part right here, this is the processor. We are using the Intel Core i5-6400, and it is an LGA 1150. It goes in LGA 1151 sockets on motherboards, which that means our motherboard has an LGA 1151 processor socket, which works with LGA 1151 processors. And again, I'm not going to ever use AMD because I have heard that AMD just doesn't work as well, really. I have a friend who builds computers, and he recommends that just don't use the AMD unless you want to. I mean, they are cheaper, but that's probably the reason why they don't work as well. I guess I know it might not be that much of a visible difference, but if you look, it can make a visible difference depending on what you're trying to run. So this is the box it comes in. I know it looks kind of thick. This is not actual size but depending on what screen you're watching this on, it's definitely going to be a different size. Like if you're watching this on a little phone, it's going to be a different size than if you're watching this like on your TV through your Xbox YouTube app or something. So this right here is the processor itself, and trust me, I don't know why they need that. Well, I do sometimes. Yeah, I'm sure some of you are wondering why they need. Well, I'm kind of getting a little confused here with myself. So, for anyone who actually knows processors, how big processors are, why they would need that big of a box? Well, why don't they just put a tiny little box? Well, one thing is, this isn't the only thing inside of the box. There's another thing, and again, though, I'm getting the Intel Core i5 6400 Skylake 6th Gen processor, and the reason why they have the box so big is because they also include, certain ones are big because they include a heatsink, which the heatsink cools the CPU, and it screws in to the four little it doesn't screw in. You literally just line these up with the four holes around the processor mount, and you just press down, and it locks into place. And you plug this into the CPU fan header, and when you turn on the computer, it starts running. So this is a heatsink, and oh gosh, this is a heatsink and CPU cooler. The heatsink is that gray thing under it, and it cools the heatsink and the fan. Yeah, it cools the processor to keep it at a good temperature, but that is not the one that I'm using because it just includes with the processor. There's a much better one that I'm going to be using. So that's it for the processor. I think we're going to get onto the RAM now. So the RAM, I only have 2 pictures. Or I think I actually have 3, but yeah, I think I have 3 pictures for the RAM. And so I'm using 16 gigabytes of RAM, although there's 4 slots on the motherboard. I'm only using 2. It's a 16 gigabyte kit. They are 288 pin DDR4 RAM. Of course, I don't know why because DDR4 and 288 pin is what's compatible with the motherboard. And DDR4 I think it's better than DDR3. Only older motherboards are compatible with DDR3 RAM. So, and again, it's 16 gigabytes. They are, like, each one is 8 gigabytes is what I've been meaning to say. Each one is 8 gigabytes. And here's a picture of them when they are plugged into a motherboard. And again, some of these pictures, I know they are, and that's not the motherboard I'm using though, but it's I don't know, it's not the motherboard I'm using. So I know these pictures, again, they're really small, but I'm sorry for that. I apologize. Oh no, I had to cough there. So I apologize if the pictures are very small, but I know there are many more that are complete size. They like take up the entire screen. So, and that's their default resolution is as big as the screen. So trust me, it's going to be better. Don't worry. There are better ones in the future. So I'm not sure if I have another one. I don't want to click the next button and go on to like a part that's like going to be in the video like 2 minutes from now or something. So I'll go check real quick. So for storage, we have the Samsung 750 EVO. I'm not sure if it's EVO or EVO. I'm just going to say EVO because it's quicker than saying EVO or EVO. Oh, yeah, I did say it correctly. So, yeah, I'm just going to say that instead because whether it's correct or not, I'm not even sure anyways. So, it's just quicker, so save us a few seconds. So, yeah, we're using the Samsung 750 Evo 500 gigabyte SSD, and I've seen typically most people buy their computers, but like buy a pre-built one. But I know there are those people who do build them, but I've seen computers, they either have, like, most of them have either 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes. But mine is only going to have 500, but I am going to upgrade eventually, just buy like a second storage device and install it. But I mean, really, I don't need a terabyte. I might eventually, like, after like 2 years or so, like after like 2 years, I might use a terabyte. But I have a sticker back in February 18th of 2016. We took this computer in because the storage, we were having trouble with whatever storage device we were using, and we just took it to Best Buy and they replaced it for us. And it was a fresh hard drive with 490 gigabytes, and it's an SSD. It's a SanDisk Ultra 490, SanDisk Ultra 2 490 SSD, 490 gigabytes. And it's been, it's probably been about 8 months, close to 8 months and 3 weeks since I have gotten this new hard drive, and I've only used about, so I am exactly 11 gigabytes under the max storage amount. It does use, like, for pre-installed apps and auto-installed apps and everything. It does use a little bit, so out of that 490, I can only use 447, but that's still plenty enough. So I basically it takes away 43 gigabytes, and it takes away 43 gigabytes, and that means that, and half of that is 223.5. So if it's 223.5, then that means I am 11 gigabytes away from being halfway full of the storage. The storage is almost halfway full. I cannot speak. Halfway full. And so, yeah. And it's been about close to, it's in just a few months, it's going to be a year. And I still haven't, there's no way it's going to get full in a year. So, in a few months, So, I'm definitely going to be in the clear for a while. And I'm going to get that new computer soon, so not even going to need this storage device anymore. Of course, I'm still going to use this computer, but I'm going to store basically the majority of my stuff in my other computer. So, and then it's basically going to reset because it's almost the same amount of storage space. So, yeah, it's basically going to reset, and I'm going to have, like, I'm definitely get a new storage device in between the time, like, for the next year. I'm definitely going to get it before the year time is up. So, yeah, it's all good. I got it. Alright, so the graphics card I will be using is an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 980 Ti. This is one view of it, and of course this is only the case of it. This is like a little vent right there. Then this is the GPU is right under this, and this little thing spins around and cools it. And we have some ports right here. It looks like we have 2 USB ports. Not sure what these ports are, and I like how right here it just says GTX 980 Ti. It says what type of the graphics card it is. Here's another picture of it, and on the side it says GeForce GTX, but of course my theme color is not green, or my computer theme will not be green. So there's a technique you can do, which is we have to disassemble the graphics card. And you can take this and use like a sanding sponge. You can take the text out of the frame and everything, and all the parts off, the plastic parts off. And you can kind of use a sand sponge, like for like sandpaper, but like a sponge version, kind of like a handheld cube of it or something, and kind of scrape off the green, and then you'll have like a white paint. You can leave it like that, and when it lights up, it will just be white it will light up white instead of green. But I'm probably just gonna like make a little puddle of spray paint and then stamp it in there. Like in this video, there's like a tutorial of how to custom paint your graphics card. He used the GTX 780 Ti. but I think it looks pretty similar, but it is just a little different than the 980 Ti. So see, he kind of what he did here was he took it apart, spray painted these red, and this is just a video. This is the thumbnail of his video, and he kind of stamped these in a puddle of spray paint in the video. I'll leave a link to that video and the guy's channel in the description. His name is Tech Source. He does really cool tech videos, and yeah, they're really cool. He does really cool tech videos, so and PC builds. So I'll leave a link to his channel in the description, and we're gonna go on to the next part now. So for the CPU cooler, I have the Corsair H100i GTX, and the GTX it's a liquid cool. There's 3 different types of coolers. There's air cool, there is water cool, and there's liquid cool. And I don't really think that the liquid cool actually uses a liquid. I know the water cool isn't as simple as this, okay? The most simplest thing is air cool, but usually those are the cheapest. And this is liquid cool, and liquid cool looks like this. It has the radiator, the fans, the tubing, and then it has, but those are bendable tubes. They're not like the plastic tubes that water cooling use. And then there is the CPU block. There's the block, which is the thing that says Corsair on it. Not the fans that say Corsair, but the little thing that says Corsair on it. And that goes over the CPU and cools it. So these are some Corsair SP120 fans, I think. They're similar. They're static pressure fans, of course. Static pressure fans always have the fan blades that are really thick. And high airflow have the really skinny ones. So then the fans go on top of the radiator, which the radiator I think is like the air intake. I'm not exactly sure, but I know it's called the radiator. And I have another picture here of it this is the radiator without the fans. And again, this is another fuzzy picture, which I don't like. That one, this is a really clear one. But this is it without the fans on the radiator. And I'm also going to replace the fans on the radiator to add that little bit more of red effect. So I'll show you that in a minute. This is the box it comes in. It's the box. And I'm actually think I might not get the GTX. I think I might get the V2. The V2 is a little bit cheaper. This is actually like $70 more than that, but I don't know. And it's also compatible with Intel and AMD processors, which it says here. So then here we have one more picture of it. This is what it actually is going to look like in action. So we have the fans on it. Then we have the tubes, and it just goes over the CPU like this. This is a CPU block. So here I have a picture of the fans I'm going to be replacing with. They are the Corsair SP120s, and these come with, these have a colored and removable ring. And the reason why they're removable is because the SP120s come pre-installed with the blue ring, but in the box is included a white ring and a red ring. And I'm going to snap those out, just simply snap them out and replace them with a red ring. Then I'm going to screw those onto the radiator and take off the other ones. So the computer is going to be powered by an 860 watt power supply, which is the Corsair AX860. The 860 has 860 watts of power. It is also, I think it's an 80 plus platinum, and I think it's also Crossfire ready. I really don't know what that is, but I'm just guessing that those might be something important because it says that on the list of things about it. It says it's Crossfire ready. And I don't know what 80 plus platinum is, but yeah. We have another picture of it here. And this fan, I think this fan doesn't actually suck air or push air out. It sucks air in to cool it. Then this here is the side of it, or this is another angle. This is where, so you know how the computer has one huge plug that plugs into the wall and plugs into the back of the computer? Well, this is that plug. So that is a power supply that you are plugging it into. So the power supply sticks out on the back, and you plug it into here, and then plugs into the wall, and then you turn the computer on by pressing this button right here. So we have 2 more pictures as well. There's 2 more pictures. This is the back with all the back things. It's not easy to read, but there's some 24-pin. There's a 24-pin ATX. There's some PCIe and there's 6+2 PCIe and 4+4 CPU. There is also some peripheral and SATA. There's SATA ports. There's a 24-pin connector, which I know a lot about. And there is also the 4+4 CPU and 6+2 PCIe. So, and yeah, here is fan control apparently. So, there's one more picture, which is the box. This is the box itself. And there's not really much else to show besides these. So there's no more pictures, and we're going to do the next item. So we are wrapping up the video with the case fans, and for the case fans, I'm using the Corsair AF120s, and as I mentioned earlier, the AF, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but the AF stands for airflow, and these are the high airflow ones, which have the skinnier fan blades, and there's SP stands for static pressure, which are the ones with the fatter fan blades. So, and that's basically it, because this is the last item. There's not much to say about case fans. I don't have any other pictures of these, or yes, I do, but just to add that effect, as LED effects, I got these. I'm going to get them with LEDs. These are the LED versions, and the LED versions have LEDs, so they make it really cool when they spin. So I'm going to put them on the front, so that way when the computers turn on through the grill on the front, you're going to see red light coming out of it. I'm also going to buy like a little LED strip to put along the top so that it also comes out the window a little bit and just lights up the entire build. So it's going to look really epic when it's done. Christmas is in 4 days, less than 4 days. It is currently 3:53 p.m. right now. It's the 21st of December, so Christmas is in less than 4 days. So Christmas is in less than 4 days. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've said that. I don't know how excited I am to get a new gaming PC. Hopefully. Oh, okay. Well, that just interrupted. I should have turned my Steam to offline mode. So, yeah. I'm gonna look at a Christmas countdown, and I'm gonna see exactly how long it is until Christmas. So, yeah, guys, there is less than 4 days left until Christmas. It's 3 days, 8 hours, 4 minutes, and 21 seconds. So, I mean, I'm just going to sit here and wait until Christmas. I'm just going to stare at this for the next 3 days, 8 hours, 4 minutes, and 9 seconds. Okay, I'm bored. So, yeah, guys, one more thing I have to say is I've been meaning to do this video for the past, 2 weeks now. Yeah, and I don't think, it shouldn't have taken me that long, but hey, I've just been doing random stuff, like, I don't know, hanging with friends, family events, basically stuff that doesn't have to do with YouTube. So, anything that someone would do, normal person would do, basically. Basically anything a normal person would do, just be doing, yeah, whatever. So, yeah, I haven't been, and it's not like I've been doing each day for the past 2 weeks. I've been working on this video. It's not that, but what I have been doing is, out of 2 weeks, I've chosen only 3 days to do this. So I've, completed 1/3 each day of those 3 days that I chose. So on that day, I just, did 1/3 of it, and it took me 2 weeks to do, yeah. So, sorry about that, guys. I will try not to do that next time. And I also haven't uploaded in a while. This is the first video I've actually made from that new tech, from the tech unboxing video. I'm using all that right now. The mouse is plugged in. The microphone is in front of me, which is recording this right now. And I'm wearing my headphones as well, even though I don't really need to because there's not volume from the computer, but they feel comfortable, so I'm wearing them anyways. Yeah. So, ow, I hit my elbow on the desk. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I would really appreciate if you go down and hit the subscribe button, as well as the like button. Drop a like on the video, and hit the subscribe button to stay updated with the content that I make. Also, be sure to hit the notification button next to the subscribe button, so you can get updated every time I post a video, which isn't going to be that often until I get new gaming equipment. But, that's only in 4 days, so I'm probably not going to upload for the next 4 days. I actually might, so I think I actually might. I'm going to try and do one video over the next 4 days until Christmas. Then the next few days, I'm probably just going to be working with whatever I got for Christmas, like building a computer. So, yeah. That's probably what I'm going to be doing. Because I'm most likely going to get it. But if I don't, then I'm probably going to get something else, and I'll be using that, because what's the point of getting it if you're not going to use it? Yeah. So, yeah. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Catch you guys later, and peace out. Bye!